What's going on, guys? Asian Eyes White Dragon here. So this section we're going to be talking about the cards that have potential to see some good play in Order of Chaos that is coming up soon. But I do have a section of the meta cards and the hotter cards. You can check it out by clicking on the annotation. But let's go ahead and get into some of the cards that have really good potential in the upcoming set. So first off, we've got Royal Prison, which is a watered down version of a ban card, Royal Oppression, which recently went away. And its effect is when this card's face up on the field, neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard. So, like, you know, really good. Stops Reborn XYZ, which is also coming out really soon. I mean, the card sees some play. I mean, against plants, it can hurt them too, just because, like, Debris Dragon can't have a target, and, like, you know, there's a lot of stuff where it really does stop. But, I mean, it doesn't seem as good as Oppression, so it probably won't be main deck. I mean, I could definitely see this card being side decked against some decks. Next card, Zenmayo. What it is a level 5 XYZ, and it requires 2 of them. And you can detach material to just destroy 2 set cards on the field. So pretty good stuff. But I didn't really want to put them in, like, you know, the main like meta cards. It is a pretty decent card though. Just because of XYZ Reborn, you can just like XYZ Reborn pop 2 and still have like a 2600 attacker. But the traps people are using right now are basically Trap Dust Shoot and like the Solemn lineup. And at that point, they're going to negate your XYZ Reborn anyways. So I think this card definitely is okay, though. I mean, he doesn't have like any downside to like not being able to attack the turn. So he's pretty good. You know, destroying 2 plus having a 26 attacker. Next card, Photon Lizard. And its effect is you contribute this card you control to add 1 level 4 lower Photon monster from your deck to your hand. And so I found like a little combo with this. So I mean, they're all like lights from the Photon archetype, so you know, I'm BLS. But so you contribute your Photon Lizard and then get out Photon Thrasher, and Photon Thrasher says it cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summoned from your hand while you control no monsters. So if you summon Photon Lizard, tribute Photon Lizard, add Photon Thrasher to your hand, you basically get a searcher that searches out a 21 attacker that can attack that same turn. So that's pretty cool stuff. But he does have a downside. If you control another monster, this card cannot attack. But I mean, it's still pretty good. Like, it's just a little quick combo that just seems like it has a little bit of play. Maybe in the sneak peek, it would be a pretty decent combo. Next card, Evoltile Casinerio. This card's okay. I mean, once it destroys, like, you know, a face down Sangan or something, you can just basically go for like a Lagia or Dolka. So pretty good stuff. Yeah, I mean, you could get level 6 or lower, but it's pretty much going to be, you know, going for the Lagia or Dolka play. But yeah, I think this card, you know, could see some play, depending on what you're running. I mean, you could be running like Shrinks or something. I don't know. It just definitely seems like it's possible. Next card I want to talk about is Dark Blade, Captain of the Evil World. And its effect is once per turn, you can banish a dark monster in your graveyard to target a level 4 lower light monster your opponent controls and equip it to this card. If this card would be destroyed, you can destroy one of those cards instead. So, I mean, you could start equipping a whole bunch of cards to him. He doesn't have a limit as far as how many he can have equipped, but he does, you know, only equip 1 card per turn. But I was thinking it was kind of good against Lightsworn just so they don't have cards in the graveyard. Plus, Lightsworn has a problem with dealing with like any 1800s anyways. I mean, they have Garroth and Jane, but if you take like Jane, and they usually only want like one Jane, 1 Garroth, it could be like pretty good just because, you know, your opponent doesn't get to put their Lightsworns in the graveyard. So I see it having some potential. Although against Agents, it could be good just because if they only have like 1 Venus or they don't search out with like Earth because you effect failure. Like, if you just take that 1 agent early on and they have Hyperions and Christia in their hand, like, they could really run into a bad situation because they can't get out those cards because they need the agent in the graveyard. And this card is really good on attack too, you know, 1800, not bad. But the only restriction was level 4 or lower. I mean, if it could take any light monster, this card would be amazing. But it still is, you know, pretty good. Could see some play in the side deck against, I'm not sure what at the moment. I mean, with Photons coming out, you know, those are also light, so potentially could be good. Next card, Trance Archfiend. Its effect is you can discard 1 Fiend-type monster to have this card gain 500 attack. So, you know, maybe if you're playing Infernities, you need to get rid of some cards in your hand. Could be a possibility, and, you know, 2000 attack isn't bad. And then, but its main effect is when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished dark monsters and add it to your hand. and there's no restriction on it. So like you can, if you happen to remove Dark Arm Dragon to get out your Black Luster Soldier, you can add back your Dark Arm, you can add back Gores. This card definitely could see some play. And on the picture it's showing Jedi Alex Birdman, so that's another card that if you special summon Birdman, you can get it back. So this card definitely has some potential, as it has 1500 attack too. Pretty decent. Next up, Divine Dragon Apocralyph. I believe that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. But its effect is you can discard one card to target a Dragon-type monster in your graveyard and add to your hand. So you can target Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and then just remove Divine Dragon and special summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal. So like I thought that was a pretty decent combo. Just allows you to cycle through your Red Eyes Darkness Metals really good. So if they like die, you can just get them back. Because usually people get over Red Eyes Darkness by using Dark Hole and then just like clear your board. Because it has really good attack. But yeah, I definitely think that this card could see some play. Plus, it's also dark, so if you're running like Allure in your Dragon deck, you can just Allure this guy, maybe get him back later with something else. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't have any attack, so it's basically you just get Red Darkness Metal. I mean, there's probably other dragons that'll work well with it, but yeah, the card could see some play. Next card, number 96, Dark Mist, and it requires 3 level 2 monsters, so agents could be running this later on, and you can detach an XYZ material monster to half that monster's attack and have this card gain attack equal to the same amount at attack declaration. So pretty good stuff. Obviously it doesn't have very good attack, but if they have like a 3000 attacking monster and you half that monster's attack, it becomes 1500 and you also gain 1500. And his attack is 100, so therefore you would be at 1600. So it basically can run over anything that your opponent has. So it seems really good, but you can only activate the effect essentially 3 times. But if you're going to be able to activate its effect 3 times successfully, I think that you've done already enough damage to your opponent where you basically can win. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Plus, it's also another dark card. And, it just helps out with more lights and darks. Next card, Armor Blast. I don't know, like, the card could see some play realistically, because if your Insector gets Veilered, it does kind of hurt a bit, because Insectors are really relatively like weak without their equips and their effects. So I mean, you could just destroy 2 face-up cards. I wish it was just 2 cards on the field, but then I think that card would be way too good. But yeah, I mean, the card definitely has potential, just because people are going to be main decking effect Veilers more, just because of windups plus Insectors coming out in Order of Chaos. Yeah, I mean, this card could see some play, because obviously if you effect Veiler and Insector, they can't really do anything. But yeah, that's a pretty good card. Overcapacity. When your opponent special summons a monster, you can banish all level 2 or lower monsters on the field. So if they go special summon like Glow Up Bulb, you can just be like, oh, okay, I'll just banish Glow Up Bulb, like when they activate 1 for 1. So I think this card definitely sees some play. It's not too bad. I mean, I don't think it'd be in the main deck, but it doesn't seem like a bad option. And I was thinking, if there's anything like lower the level of monsters on the field, realistically I don't think it'd be possible, but it could be an option. You could just get rid of everything. But yeah, I mean, the card definitely is okay against like Glow Up Bulb, Spore. There's a lot of other things. Yeah, definitely could see some play. Now this card, it gets a lot of strange things, like Magical Merchant. So I think that this card is okay, but unfortunately it has to be destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. So yeah, it is kind of limited on what you can do with it. It's not like Sangan, where it's whenever it's sent to the graveyard. But yeah, Magical Merchant. There was some person running a Magical Merchant Inferni deck, which was kind of cool. And it was interesting to see. So this card could see some play just to add Magical Merchant, as there are some decks that are kind of like testing out Magical Merchant, just because like this format is really just about monsters effects, and so that really helps you out with getting the cards you need. Next card, Earth Armor Ninja. And I thought this was a really good card that ninjas could run, just because it's like basically kind of like a Cyber Dragon. So yeah, I mean, he's level 5, so I mean it could help with the ninja art card, the trap card, pretty good stuff. And the last card, Interplanetary Purple Thorny Dragon. It's the strangest name I've seen. And its effect is, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. And I was thinking this card could see some play in TGs, just because TGs set, all the time they set cards. And then, they destroy it, and you get a huge attacker, and then you can just search out Striker and just be like, okay, I'll go for Black Rose. It seems pretty cool. I could see this card having some potential. Plus, it is dark, so, the TGs can really, fit in those Blackluster Soldiers. Because, usually TGs are, there's a lot of TG decks running Thunder King, just because Thunder King shuts down a lot. Although Thunder King, remember, you don't really want to summon your TGs plus have Thunder King on the field, because then you won't get your TG's effects. Because, Thunder King prevents that. But, yeah, I think that this card could see some play. It's definitely a cool card, plus it has a pretty strange-looking name over there. But, yeah, so those are the cards that I thought that, have some potential in Order of Chaos. If there's any cards you think that, deserve some more spotlight on the cards with potential, let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to check out the meta cards that I think that are going to be in Order of Chaos, there'll be an annotation for that. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.